Okay, let's try some more brayering right now. I found my brayers, and needless to say, I don't need to get any more. We have two different types of brayers here. I think these metal ones were the old style, if I'm not mistaken. This one's even larger. And I thought the plastic handle ones came in later. I'm not quite sure, but anyway. I used to use these brayers to brayer down the labels. Well, I still do, but you know, on wood-mounted stamps. So we used to use these all the time. But then we started using them in make and takes in our conventions. And some of them got so worn out that it bore right through the metal here. You know what I mean? I mean, that's getting, I don't know, I guess the most out of a certain tool when you cut through, you know, when you wear metal through metal. And anyway, needless to say, we have a lot of brayers here to choose from for me. And I thought I'd try something a little bit different here. I've never done this before. I've always used brayering with dye-based inks. I thought I would try to do something with the brilliants, the black and metallics. Either the Platinum Planet or the silver. The silver is really bright. The Platinum Planet's a little bit more mellow. I don't know, we could go for both of them, but we're just going to do it on a quarter-size piece of paper right here, and we're going to see how it comes out. I have a certain kind of concept in mind about going with I don't know what you would call it, a transition or a kind of split fountain between a silver and a black down here, okay? And then what I'm going to do is in the silver portion, I'm going to stamp black trees coming up there. I don't know, I guess I can stamp black and silver. But here's my thing. I think I can get a good transition going with the brayering on here, but I'm not quite sure about the imagery over the top of the Brilliance inks, if the imagery will stick to it and transfer. I don't know. I might have to heat set a little bit. I'm not sure. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that being said, what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing this on kind of a matte cardstock, okay? The glossy cardstock is just going to be a big slathering, kind of floating on glossy, you know, which I just don't think will work for this purpose. Okay, so let's see how it goes here. I've never brayered, you know, anything in metallics at all, so we'll see how this goes. I mean, I certainly haven't transitioned anything, but I've never even brayered metallics, so I just wonder if I just brayered all over my lid here. Okay, so I'm going to do it portrait, okay? So let's see. Let's go like this. Well, that was fast. I don't know, that's like done. This could be a very quick brayering scene lesson. Okay, there's your Platinum Planet. It's silver, and I hope you can tell. Yeah, you can tell there. It has a little bit of a warm tinge to it, don't you think? Kind of a goldish tinge. All right. So you can see the difference in the paper there. So that matte paper and the kind of metallic style of Brilliance ink. All right. I thought I'd clean this off a little bit more thoroughly, but that went on so fast. I'm just going to wipe it off here with my paper towel before that sets up. With the Brilliance inks, when you do get done using this, I would really recommend washing this off quickly, because the Brilliance inks are, you know, they're designed to dry very quickly on you know, whatever you apply them to, and I would think rubber would be no exception. Okay, so I don't think I need to ink up this whole thing, because I want kind of a shorter range of the black. See, here's the thing. I don't know how far I'm going to have to go into that Platinum Planet to create a transition, or if it's going to blend at all. The other consideration that I was thinking about, too, was I wasn't quite sure if I should do the black first, and then the silver, or if I should go silver first. I don't know. We'll try it both ways. Okay, so see this transitioning into that platinum planet down here. My first kind of thought to this is I think I'm going to have to, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go platinum planet, then black, and then back to platinum planet and go over that, because I think that's too harsh of a, kind of a transition zone right there, you know, with the black. Okay, now my black, I didn't re-ink, okay? I thought maybe going with kind of more of a drier surface might work out better. Okay, so let's see how this is going on here. I mean, I don't know, maybe I should re-ink this. I'm not getting some of that stronger black down there. Let's go like this here. Okay, here's what I'm finding with the black, too. I'm kind of removing ink as I do this. See that? See, I go like that, and it's just like coming right off of it. Actually, all of this is coming right off. I'm touching down here, and it's getting that too. So let's go with the lighter touch here. Okay, let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's still removing. How come it went on so thick here, and down here it's... All right, let me try something right here. Let me try just going up like this. It just doesn't want to apply there. I don't know why. It seems like the more I apply... Okay, here we go. It seems like the more I apply, the more, I don't know, it wants to come... I don't know. Okay, now it's starting to go on there. I don't know, going this way and then that way, did that help? It's like going, like, across the grain or something like that helped out. Okay, there it goes. I think it's my pad, though. I think... See, I'm going like this in different areas, and it's just juicier in one area, so I'm kind of getting more of a full coverage. All right, so that was, you know, user error, you know, me. Okay, coming down this way. All right. Yeah, I can live with that up there. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. There's a couple different things we can do too. You know, I can stamp silver imagery in the black, or I can stamp black imagery in that. You know, okay, so you know what I'm looking at now? I need to come down a little bit more with the black. I'm imagining my trees in here. I think I need a little bit more sky. All right, here's the thing. My black pad. Okay, I can see it right here. I don't think I was pressing enough into that. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't re-ink my black pad. Okay, there we go. That's better. Alright, look at my finger. Look at that, I brayered my hand. Okay. Okay, just to make... Well... Okay, I was going to say just to make it go faster, I'll use one of my other brayers to go back to that silver. But let's just clean this off, because a lot of you won't have multiple brayers, so let's do it the way that you would do it at home. Okay, so this is just water I'm using right here. And, you know, I mean, it's coming off reasonably well. Easy. And then, you know, when I'm done with this, I'll give it a, you know, really good wash off. I can probably just take it to the kitchen sink and just have some water running and go over it with a, you know, like a kitchen sponge or something of that sort. Look at all that ink on there. There's a lot more ink on there than I thought. Even though a lot of it looked like it transferred. Okay, let's go back to that platinum planet. Or we can, I don't know. I can go to the platinum planet or silver. I wonder if I should go with the silver. Let's stick with the platinum planet. Let's just stick with 2 inks. Okay. Alright, pretty good slathering on there, okay. Alright, let's go over all my fingerprints here. And we're creeping up into that black now, okay. This transition zone right in here. How far do I go up, though? That's the question. I'm going a little bit lighter like that, okay. Looks pretty funky, doesn't it? I wouldn't say it looks good as is. We'll have to see what it looks like, after we stamp the imagery in there, though. Does the imagery look good? Okay. I'm not real happy with that. Let's pull out the big guns. The silver really stands out, super strong. But I was thinking maybe not doing that because I thought the Platinum Planet might have a little bit more of a kind of a mellow transition into the black, which it does. Okay. But let's take this and let's hit it with a little bit of silver. Well, I don't know, I don't know if I'll go over all the Platinum Planet, but maybe we can create. Wow, that is a super different color than Platinum Planet. That is merging with that beautifully, though. Okay. Okay, this is interesting to me. The silver on its own is very different, but the Platinum Planet is showing through the silver, giving it a little bit more kind of depth. Alright, so the question is, do I go up here with the silver, or do I just leave it as is? Like that. See how it's silver? I mean, that looks pretty ugly like that, but this is what I'm going after right here. But that isn't very much of a transition zone up there, is it? Let me do something right here. Let's take this and let's take a lot of this off right here. I think this is what maybe we need to do here. Needless to say, these videos are not. Some of them are pre-planned, like my series 615, which is kind of a lesson format, but a lot of these videos are just complete experiments, okay? Going into the unknown, for me at least. I mean, for all I know, people have done this before, many times, for all I know, or for years, but I don't know, I haven't seen it, so it's new to me. Okay, so okay, this is what I was thinking I need to do. Let's just go in with clean Brayer. Okay, and let's see if we can just mellow out some of this right here. You see, take this off like this, go on like this. Okay, and kind of move it up and down a little bit from where you're kind of going. Okay, just to kind of smooth things out a touch. It kind of flattens things out. I don't know. Pretty funky looking. Okay, now let's test things out here. I have a feeling that we might be able to go multi-toned here. I don't think I'll use the Platinum Planet. I think I want something a little bit bolder on this. Okay. Thinking black. How did I get that on there? It's like blue. Let's take this out of here. Here's a concept. I can Brayer. You can Brayer different colors on here up top on your image, so it can go from dark to light up here, like that, where I'm going from light to dark up there, so it's lighter on here in the darker areas and darker down here. I'm not going to try to do that right now. This is just an experiment to test out a few things, so let's go with, well, I definitely need to re-ink this Brilliance pad. I think we're going to have to go with a pretty decent slathering of ink. I don't know that for sure though. As I say that, I'm wondering in my mind if the thicker ink will just not apply because it's just so thick, so it's just going to come off like a, that vacuum situation, where you're stamping wet into, wet and thick into thick. So sometimes that ink just doesn't transfer over, but that's what experiments are about, if you're not sure if something's going to work out, that's a good reason to do it as opposed to not doing it. Now, if you've worked on something for hours, you're not certain about it, then test it out or something like that before applying it to something. But I don't know. I always kind of like to, step out into the unknown. All right, this is the spruce large here. Let's see how this goes. I'm kind of applying a decent amount of pressure, but then I'm wondering if I should press, a little bit less. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes you're going wet into wet, and then you pull this off, and like a vacuum, it just, all that ink is just on here, and none of it transferred over. So I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, kind of feeble down here, huh? Let's try it again. Okay, I need to put more pressure down at the base of the stamp. Well, it's a little bit lower. So in the center of it, it just didn't, it didn't transfer very well. Okay, there we go. I don't know what this looked like either if I stamped like a white or silver image over the top of it. I think I'm going to try that though. We'll try, we'll go with the same inks that we did the transition with, the Brayer transition. Okay, pretty good. It kind of looks ugly without the reflective kind of iridescence of the inks. Kind of looks very plain, but that silver, that big gap in there looks kind of weird. But I'm gonna put something else over that. Okay, now I'm going to stamp out that tree in silver, and it just so happens that that's the last color that I used. I don't even remember the scene that I did with this leafless pines large here, but whatever scene I did, I stamped it in Starlight Silver. I didn't look at this tack and peel, how hard it is to kind of remove your plastic cover after you wash this. After you wash this off, it is so brand new, kind of tacky. It's not sticky. Well, I don't know. I guess I can call it sticky or tacky, but it doesn't leave any residue on the back of your stamp. A little aside there. I should start carrying tack and peel. I don't know. Some people have a hard time finding it. Maybe it'd just be more convenient if I carried it. Said I was going to get out of accessories, but tack and peel is a really fantastic medium or product. Okay, so we have that silver on there. Okay, I don't know if this is going to look good, but let's give it a shot here. Okay, I'm always kind of a little bit careful when positioning pigment ink over pigment ink, okay? Because it can kind of slide, but I think on this matte paper, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to have that kind of issue like foils, which are, completely wet even after, a while. Not so great. But that does give me an idea here. Okay, let's go with another one right in here. Let's go down a little bit. Okay. It looks great up in that area up there, you know. Maybe I should have just went all with silver or something. But silver over the black, you know, the ink is getting really built up at this point in time. Yeah, this area over here looks weak. Okay, so what we're going to do is just we're going to sandwich it, okay? Alright, let me just leave this on this for now. Okay, let's go back to the black image. Or... let me try some different pines right in here. It's getting really built up right here. Remember, it's not only the impressions, but it's the silver laid down on the paper that's kind of building up here. So we have a lot of thick inks that are built up right there. Okay, let's just use this thinner pine. This is called Pines and Rocks here. Larger one. You can use the smaller one. The smaller one we just used a lot in that last series of videos. Okay, let's see if I can hit this area in here. Have it even show up. I don't even know if this will show up, but let's give it a try. I've never worked just with so many thick inks. Thick ink over thick ink over thick ink. I thought a lot of the dye-based inks were really thick, but I mean, they're nothing compared to working with pigment inks and trying to layer them over the top of one another. It's been a real kind of a fun, you know, I don't know, kind of period of experimentation and kind of delving into different, I don't know, I guess viscosities or whatever. Oh my god, it didn't even transfer at all. I can't even see it whatsoever. Can't even see it down here. Okay, so let's try something else here. Okay? You can always just keep playing around. If nothing shows up, then, you know, it really didn't pollute it, you know, because it doesn't even show up, so. Let's try something else here. Okay. I don't necessarily think it'll work, but... Or I can just go with the black right over the top of it, kind of a thick black again. I was thinking about going with this, but doing it in white. You know, would white show up on there? That's the question. Okay, the silver kind of shows up over that. Let's just give it a try here. Why not? Okay. Got to get that silver off of this. I'm not sure if this is, you know, maybe I should go with something with a little bit more mass to it, like the, you know, the spruce tree large again, or should we go with kind of this more airy style of image? That's always the question, you know. Do you go bold, or do you go kind of thinner? And I don't know. Sometimes you go either or, but in this case, we're just trying to find something that will kind of stand out against that. Or you could, I don't know. I mean, this one could be done in black too. But not to confuse things. Let's try the white here. I think I have tried this before. I'm not sure if it even stood out at all. Or should we try heat setting this too a little bit? If I heat set this, would that help out? Let's try doing that. We'll heat set from the back a little bit. Alright, let's see if that does anything. I'm not sure. Okay, let me get a little bit more of this white on here. Hope I didn't dry out my white while doing that, but let's give this a shot here. It'll be interesting if this works out. If it doesn't, it'll just make it look a little bit sloppier. I'm just kind of using, I guess it's about 50%. I was going to say it's the top third of it. It's about 50% of it. Top of the tree. Kind of shows up a little bit. Showed up more than the black. Like that. See that right there? Actually, that wasn't too bad. It's a little bit unbalanced now, but let's do this right here. Put another one over here. I know this is getting super, super busy, but I'll show you what I'll try to do after this. Okay, so I put another one right over here. It's looking a little bit cluttered, I know. But let's do something. I mean, since we're layering right here, I'm reasonably happy with that. Let's hit it again. I think that heat setting might have helped a little bit. Never sandwiched so many of these types of trees in my foreground before, but let's try it here. I usually go one type of tree, then the other one, but let's go one type, then another one, then the same again on top of there, okay? Let's see if this works out at all. I hope it does, because it'll just kind of mellow things out a touch. Okay, let's get it. Now I'm pressing a little bit harder because I have a feeling that, all these pigment inks are kind of built up on the surface. They sit on the surface, so, even though it's a very thin layer of ink, it is still making a ridge, especially when these things are dry. So I need to be able to get in there, right? Luckily, the inks are very thick, so maybe they can just kind of squeeze into the sides of the the objects that are, raised. We'll see. A little bit cluttered, but not too bad. It just kind of covers up a little bit. Alright, so here we have that, okay. There's that silver aspect of it, okay. Alright, now, I'm not real happy with that as a finished piece, but one of the things that you can always do, well, there's a few different things, but there's a couple things. And that's just that you cover all this up with something else, okay? All right, so let me do this right here. I'm going to hit this with a little bit more black. I'm just using a cotton ball here. I'm going to make a little bit of a stronger, or a lot stronger, of a vignette right here on the edges, okay? I'll go 4 corners with this. Okay. Like so. This is pretty black up here, so I don't know if it necessarily needs this, but let's just do it anyway. Okay. This is reasonably dry, too, to the touch. I mean, I didn't hit it with that heat setting for very long, but... Okay, I'm going over some of this tree, too. If the tree darkens a little bit, then so be it. Okay, so see that little vignette right there? I mean, it's not super strong, but... okay, so I've covered it up. I've put a little bit more ink in the 4 corners. That's not really the coverage that I'm referring to, but Okay, so let's hit it with some Dr. Martens here. Bleed-proof white, that will really cover up, something. In terms of having another texture right over the top of it, and then that pushes back everything into the distance visually, and it kind of brings things together because you have the same texture running over everything. It's just splatter painted right over the top. Okay. Splatter painting, white paint pen work, all that type of stuff. It really, it kind of brings out, or creates a greater continuity. It pushes back things into the distance. If you have some weak points, or a lot of weak points, like this one does, okay? And, I don't know, it just kind of, I wouldn't say it strengthens the strong points, but it definitely strengthens the weak points of a scene just because you bury them a little bit into the background by having something a lot closer to you. Okay, now this, if I just did a very sparse application of the splatter painting up in the sky, it could read as potentially stars, but I think I find this area down here isn't quite so strong, so let's do it all over everything, okay? And then it would represent something more like snow. Okay, so standard splatter painting technique, hold it, some decent distance from your page, and I also do it off the page a little bit like this, okay? So, if it drips, it doesn't drip right onto my scene here, okay? I'm going to start off with the sky, that's why I have this flipped upside down. Okay, and I'm just releasing a couple little hairs at any given time. You can go with different angles if you want to. Okay, I don't know, it could be snow and stars for all you know. See, there's all this down here. It really, I don't know, kind of mellows things out a little bit, with so much crazy, sloppy layering going on there. But I think it looks okay, with that layering, now that we've applied a different texture right over the top of it like that. Okay, so that's all white. Let's have some fun. In addition to this counter bending it like that, it's nice and flat. Seems pretty user-friendly to me. In terms of the media that we're working with. I mean, I got some things, undesirable things on there that I didn't, care for, but you just keep working it and just, I don't know, push things back, bring things forward a little bit. Okay, so what I meant talking about was having some fun here. Let's take a silver and a white acrylic paint pen. I think a few crystals on here would look fantastic as well. Alright, so every time you use these, you really have to shake them up, these acrylic paint pens, otherwise you're going to be getting a really weak application of media here. Okay, so this, I think it looks okay with that, that splatter painting. Sometimes I get a little bit more variation. It depends how thick you make your paint, or how thin or thick. Alright, I need to shake this up a little bit more. I was getting a very diluted version of this white here, okay? Alright, so what I was getting at there was that white paint splattering. Everything's fairly consistent out here, but with this paint pen I can draw a larger dot, like this. So it looks like you have some, if it's snowfall, you have some larger, closer little snowflakes or falling snow to you, and the smaller ones could represent more distant, okay? Alright, and you can even put some snow on, let's see, some of these branches. I do it where the branch comes in contact with the trunk. You can just do a little, kind of a built up little cluster of snow, like that. Kind of just start it right at the trunk and kind of do a little mark that way. Kind of have to get it flowing a little bit, especially, see, I'm drawing on paint here, so some of that pigment ink is going up into, or I'm drawing on pigment ink, not paint, but it's as thick as paint, so some of it might start going up into your paint pen. So just, do a little scribble like this and get it out of there and get it flowing again. Okay, see, I could see that paint coming out of that black. Turn your card in the direction that's the most conducive for your marks of whatever media you're applying. Okay, now, personally, the scene is starting to look pretty cool to me, okay? At this point in time. But when I was stamping those images, I thought, oh, it's not working out very well. But if you just kind of stick with it, it was looking really ugly, But if you just kind of stick with things and just kind of work it and develop it, and you can, there's a lot of finishing touches that I think bring something out very well. Sometimes it's to hide something, sometimes it's to enhance, sometimes it's both. Like in this case, I felt it needed to hide a lot of, stuff that was going on in this area. Let's do a larger dot down here too. See? This is a really weak area, so I'm just putting a few dots over the top of it with my white paint. Okay. It's really kind of filling up with that tip there is really kind of getting a lot of built up pigment ink on the inside of it. Just kind of scribble it until you got it flowing again. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But anyways, you can put a few little dots over it like that, and that makes it look better. Okay. This is kind of an extreme version because that ink is really quite wet. I don't know. I could heat set that too, I guess. Okay, now here's silver, right? You got silver in here. Why not do these silver little highlights like this? Okay. This would be a perfect opportunity for a quote up here too in silver ink or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so silver stars. This is where I don't think you'll be able to tell where I add it on this video. I'll hold this up and I'll see if you can see some of the silver touches. Okay, let's see if they even stand out at all. You can see the white ones, that's for sure. But to me here, there's a cluster of silver right there. They just look like white, but let's see. Do they? I don't know. Do they kind of stand out a little bit more? I guess they do. They're reflecting more. See, there's all that white dot up there. They're really small, but when I go like this, like the silver ones really kind of capture that light a little bit more. Then you can see the highlights on some of these branches in here with the white paint pen. All right, so let's finish this off. This is a perfect opportunity for, I keep saying that, but nevertheless, I do think it's the case. It's a perfect opportunity for some additional touches in here, okay? Like in here, I think that looks pretty good, but let's add that finishing touch here with some crystals. When you add something that's so kind of sparkly and reflective, they have a tendency of becoming maybe a bit of a star of the scene, the most attention getting element. So, I'll put some little dots of glue. I kind of space them out a little bit more random. The tendency is to kind of perfectly space everything, but kind of make them a little bit wider apart and put a couple of them a little bit closer. Oops, I did a blob of glue there, so maybe I'll put 2 crystals there. Alright. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's put one, like, see, you can put one down here as well. It is like the sky and back of there. So, a little star. And then, I don't know, I have this little, it's called Tech Unite crystals. And it's not that they're all special and great. I got them because they were cheap. I don't know, it was like $7 for 2,000 or something like that. Flat back crystal rhinestones, I think these are called. Okay, so anyways, let's go with some different sizes on here. With some, I don't know, with some I have to kind of go a little bit larger than maybe I'd want to, just because I got that blob of glue on there so thick. Okay, I'll go. Picked up 2 here. This is my gem picker by Uchida. It really makes my life easy. I got it as a tip from someone on Facebook. They said they've tried several and came to this one. It picks up these gems, but I don't know, a lot of these are upside down. I'm trying to grab one right now. Just as I talk about this, I think I might have got some glue on there or something here. Okay, here we go. I think. There, here we go. Oops. See, I mean, this thing works really well. I was just kind of fumbling around a lot. Or you just kind of wash it off and it gets sticky again. Okay, so that's one size. Let's go down for some variation here and get into some other sizes. Some of these are really, really, really dinky. Can't even tell. I need my glasses. Can't even tell. Is that a gem or is that a bead of glue there? That's a bead of glue. Okay. Here's that double area right there. So some of these are, I don't know, like a few millimeters away, or I don't know, a couple centimeters away. But some of these are, you make them, kind of a little bit spread apart a little bit wider. And, okay, so anyways, there we go. Those little crystal-y types of sparkly gems there. The crystals, of course, are reflecting a lot of light. The silver is reflecting more, or less light, and then the white reflects less, but, everything kind of stands out. Anyways, this is what this looks like right here. I think maybe matted on some Star Dream or something like that. Silver Star Dream. Look at this. This is on like a mirrored cardstock. You can kind of matte like this. Actually, it doesn't look good. I think matting on... No, I'm not going to use this as a matte, but if you go with a little bit of, white like this as a little bit of a matte around there. Go with a thin matte like that. And then maybe go with the silver like that. I don't know. That would be kind of elegant as far as presentation of this card. Then you have that silver kind of, look at those little twinklies in there. Okay, so anyways, silver and black brayering, okay? Can you see that silver right there? So there's the, I mean, just like that, it looks like white, right? But then when you get that really super reflective silver in there, and then these are silver too, so it kind of stands out a little bit more. I don't know what spray sealing this would do. I think it would bring that black out, and it would make it a little bit more extreme, which may look good. maybe I'll, try spray sealing it. But anyways, yeah, this is just a, matte cardstock, so, I think we could get a deeper saturation, maybe spray sealing, but I think formatted up, this will look pretty good as a card, but I don't know, it was a pretty fun little experiment there. Learned some things. I don't know what I would do down here differently, because maybe just, I don't know, maybe don't put on so many layers. I went one layer too many, then I was like, okay, I need to add like two more layers to kind of fix it. But I don't know, if you get something going on somewhere, like I said, you just splatter paint it. It just kind of brings everything together, pushes back everything into the distance. One complete layer, when you do something like splatter painting. So, I don't know, it saved me many, many times. Okay, so anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.